Okay, so we are at a point to where I have already started to weld and, or more than anything, tack weld this piece of steel. As you notice, I added the 3-inch piece of flat bar off to the sides because I do plan on coming back and trimming it off and then giving it some form. This did have the cutouts right here, which will be welded front and back. Front here and back over there with a 2x4. Have this flat bar, 1-inch flat bar that it was angled. Here it's nice and well, it's gonna have somewhat of a gap. I'm gonna see what I can do about this welding. Hopefully it's not too wide of a gap. The one up here, because the sheet metal obviously it changes its form, so I don't know, you can see it right there. It's got a little bit of an arc downwards, so when we're welding I want to kind of be able to lift it up. Now I did mess up here. As you can see, there is going to be a big bump here at this portion from here to here. It's going to be very uneven. It might have a wider gap. This is just one of those things to where, you know, I did my measurement wrong. I should have been a little bit more careful with it. Or I should have chosen a longer piece of, or wider, I should say, piece of flat bar, probably 1.5 inches or 1 inch or and a quarter piece of flat bar for this portion right here. But live and learn. Let's see how this turns out. Hopefully it won't have too many complications. Now I did say I wanted to take away that boxy tubing or boxy look to it. So what I ended up doing is I right from the edge right here, I went up here because I want, this is about 5 inches more or less, and as you can see that's not gonna be squared up, so it is squared up here all the way to the other side. So that's why I'm taking my measurement 2.5 inches back, cut it about halfway, and then we're gonna cut this portion off, and I will grab another piece of flat bar and weld it onto there, and hopefully we'll be able to bring this portion and might be able to have to give it a couple of stress cuts right here, so I am able to bend it back and kind of like stitch it up to this portion of that angled flat bar. Just kind of give it a little bit more of a finished look to it, and then we'll come back for to it. One portion I am also well, the other portion I am gonna do is gonna be right there. This joints right here, it will get welded all the way through. This is also gonna get welded here, and of course there. It's tacked for now. A couple of places it's tacked. This, what this is this, if you can remember what I was telling you guys, that 2x4 rectangular tubing that I had, I ended up cutting up here and up there, kind of be able to get some of this recovery point, be able to weld it in there. Now I'm coming back and boxing it in, kind of give it a little bit more support. Also gives me a little bit more place so I can put that piece of metal up at the top and give it a little bit more shape. This will also get welded in there. Of course, these will go all the way to the back and they'll get readjusted and all that kind of stuff. It's quite a bit of work, guys. We're making progress. Hopefully this won't take that much. Well, I shouldn't say that, but hopefully this will have a better finished look to it by the end of today. Alright. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys. Well, I did the welds. Yes, go ahead. I know, they're shitty. They're very, very shitty. This is bad. Anyways, I do have a plan to fix this. The reason that this came up like this was because when I put this bevel here, this actually I inclined it more, so instead of being at a 45-degree angle, it ended up being at a 40-degree angle. So that kind of messed up the measurement for here at the top. It was supposed to be more of a lap joint. That ended up not happening. Ended up having this gigantic gap here and here. I used a welding spoon, a copper welding spoon from Harbor Freight, to try to help me with that, and I just fried it and I burnt the hell out of it. I did get through most of the welds, if you can call them welds, because those things are pretty shameful. But not to worry, I do plan on going when I remove this to do all the final welding, weld it from the back, and come back again with the welding spoon and be able to fill in the spots a lot better, hopefully with another pair of hands. Yes, go ahead, crucify me for them. I know they're terrible. I know. Okay, I'm not a welder. I think I already told you guys that, but I did my best here, which obviously wasn't enough for it. So that being said, this is how this ended up being happening right here. It's still not done, of course. I still need to make the end caps for this, but I'll get to that in a second. So this ended up being 2.5 inches back, so 5 inches, 2.5, halfway. Cut it up here. I made that bevel, 1 inch piece of flat bar, 3/16. This one right here, I made a relief cut here. It's not all the way through, but it was enough to be able to just bend it with one hand, tack weld it, and be able to hold it on to there. I did that for both sides. Yes, I still need to do this one here. Then I came back. If you can see, they're not perfect, but these are the angles that I'm getting. Okay, this one here, of course, it's not gonna be perfect. This bottom one, I ended up going 2 inches up. I had gotten the first one before I cut everything. I had it here, and at the very end I measured 2 inches up, and then I made a line across, if you can see it, which 2 inches is right here, right at the very smack bottom of this here, which also aligns to this and to this right here. If you can see, it kind of follows that line all the way right here. So I made my cut, relief cut, not all the way through. Yes, I messed up here where I hammered, bent it in 45 degrees. This still needs another cut. I believe it's another, just whatever, a little nick. I might not even make it, so that I can get this cap, get it all the way, maybe about an inch far away, and close this out. Because this will have a tire carrier in the future. This is where I'm gonna come back in. Sorry, guys. Because this will have a tire carrier in the future, I will be making gussets on this end, but once the bumper is off, because I do not want to be welding overhead. I can barely lay a freaking bead flat. Imagine trying to do something overhead. Anyways, this is my progress so far, guys. Yes, when I take the bumper off, I will be making the receiver hitch here. But this is how it goes, or how it's going right now, I should say. Alright, guys, keep you posted. Okay, guys, it's been a couple of days. I know, sorry, I did get a little bit ahead of myself on this. I've been trying to work on this as fast as I can. I'm trying to move this a little bit faster. I got plenty of shit going on, so I'm trying to move on this as fast as I can, get this out of the way. Over the last few days, it's been a little bit crappy. I showed you guys in the last recording my shitty welds. Yes, I know, I apologize. I will fix this. I will make this right, okay? Please bear with me. I'm not a welder. I'm just trying to see what I can do with this. So, okay, last time we had the bumper, I didn't have end caps. I have made end caps. Let me show you what I did. So, as y'all know, this is cut and fold, 2.5 inches, folded in, relief cut, angle, 1 inch iron, 40 degrees, because it was supposed to be 45, and there was a mistake that I made. Okay, so this right here is a piece of 7x7, 3/16 steel, of course, that I made. I made two of them, one for each side. The 7x7 is gonna come from this right here where you see it down all the way to the bottom. Okay, now yes, I know this does not align perfectly, but it gets pretty close and it's good enough for me, so it works. Okay, so this is the part that matters to me. This right here and this. Okay, I will be grinding those down. Made a small template, 7 inches, cut it here, brought it down since this is a true 90 degrees. I measured it from here and I went from this cut right here, traced it from the back with the marker and cut that. I made a relief cut right here for the bend, and I adjusted it as best as I could up here. Now this up here is 2-inch flat bar 1/8 piece that I acquired. As y'all can see, I tried to maintain that angle that the body has. Of course, it's not going to be perfect. Please, I'm sorry again. What I did try to do was maintain the curvature. Yes, those things are pretty shameful. Sorry. I'm trying to fill up these gaps. Without these, there will be 2 ginormous gaps, one on each side, and it'll look pretty hideous. As it is, it already does. Yeah, I know. Sorry. What I ended up doing was I came back here. I cut this. This is about, I forgot. This is about 6 inches long in total length from the bottom. Cut it here, which was about about a 60-degree angle, more or less 62, and then I brought it down at the edge right here. I measured it from here to here, which is about 6 inches, brought the latch down, and then traced out this section right here, which, let me show you. Comes very close, and I know I will grind it down to make it a little bit better. Now this fitment right here, you know, kind of obstructs a little bit of the tail light. I made a small mark right here. I don't know if you see that silver streak mark, which is even with this side. We'll cut that out later when I get to spend some quality time with the grinder and this thing. As y'all can see, there is a nice gap right there. Not so proud about it, and then there's this even bigger gap on this side. What I'll probably try to do is try to hammer this one in a little bit just to make up for it, bend it in so it's not so obvious. Same thing on this side. Measured it out, traced it out, and there we go. Okay guys, I will be removing this bumper here shortly so that I can make those welds. Yes, I know, please apologize for the millionth time. Alright, see you later guys.